Are you trying to break a habit? We've all been there. We've all had habits we wanted to change. And habits can be very insignificant, or they can be very blatantly sinful, destructive addictions. But they become so much part of our life, they are very hard to stop. And habits can be an actual physical action, like an addiction, but more often it can be a thinking pattern, like being angry, pessimistic, cynical, or fearful. But you know, God gave us the ability to form habits as a convenience to make our life easier. You see, when we learn a skill that we do repetitively, God gave us the ability to start to do it automatically so we don't have to think through every step every time we do it. So think of brushing your teeth or even driving. You don't think through every step every time you do it. You just go into an automatic mode. So habits are a convenience that God gave us. But Satan has taken every gift that God has given us and twisted it to use it against us. So he takes our tendency to form habits to lure us into destructive, sinful habits. Now, when we form a habit, it's because it serves a useful purpose. So in the driving analogy, it saves us from thinking through each step. But if you have had a lot of emotional pain from a painful past, then you will develop habits to make yourself feel better. And these will be habits to lessen your emotional pain. So your habits will always serve a purpose and will always be justified because of the purpose it serves. So if you want to change or stop a habit, you have to be convinced that that habit no longer serves a purpose. Well, that can be as simple as just getting new information. So for example, if you are automatically driving to work every day, if you change your job, then that information tells you I better not drive to that location anymore. But if you have a habit to lessen emotional pain, all the information about you should stop doing that isn't going to change anything because it's still serving the purpose of making you feel better, regardless of how dangerous or destructive it might be. You see, human behavior is not as much based on what we know, but it's based on what we believe. Because what we believe has far more influence than what we know. And so our beliefs are rooted in past experiences. And so we form beliefs based on things that happened to us in our past. So if you have had a very painful past and a lot of bad things happen to you, especially as a child, you believe lies about yourself that have really shrunk your self-esteem and your self-confidence, and you have a lot of emotional pain, then that shapes your beliefs. And then that drives your addiction. So the key to changing a habit, especially a destructive, sinful habit, is to change your beliefs. Because you can get all the information about how dangerous your habit may be and how unwise it is, but if you still believe it's helping you and that you need it, you won't change. So beliefs are rooted in experience, not information. So your beliefs about who you are is rooted in your past experience. So if you want to change your beliefs, you need a new experience that will change those beliefs. Now, that new experience can be in the natural realm or in the supernatural realm. Now, in the natural realm, for example, let's just say you believe that everyone from Canada is nasty or untrustworthy. But then you meet me and your view changes, hopefully. But in the supernatural realm, if you have serious beliefs about how defective you are, then you need a supernatural experience with Jesus so he can actually come and heal those wounds, extract those lies, and replace it with his truth. And that will change your beliefs, so then your habit will no longer be necessary. It won't serve a useful purpose. Then all the things you know about how destructive it is will actually be meaningful and you'll walk away from it. So how do you have that experience with Jesus? Well, you need to find a quiet place where you can actually have a conversation with Jesus. And then you start by asking him, why do I have this habit? What purpose does it serve? What is the pain that it's lessening in me? Why do I do it? And then, where did this pain start? What's the origin? What's the experience that I had that started this pain, that started all these lies I believe about myself, that then drove me into this habit? And then ask Jesus, as he explains to you what happened, say, what lies did I believe about myself as a result of that event? Because when bad things happen, we start to consider ourselves to be losers and good for nothing and unlovable and hopeless failures. All these lies just pile up and cause continuous pain. Then you ask Jesus, what is the truth? What's the truth about what happened back there? And what's the truth about who I am today? How do you feel about me now? But then to be healed from a wound, there's always someone to forgive. Then you ask Jesus, well, who do I need to forgive to set myself free? And then you repent for your sinful behavior. You repent for being involved in these sinful, destructive habits. And you repent for believing all those lies. And then you renounce your agreement with all those lies that have so held you back and put you into so much pain. And then you ask Jesus for his assistance to break the habit, because you can't do it on your own. You need his help. And that will get you started. But many of you will need to see a counselor to actually walk out of addictions and significant habits. And so the counselors are available for that. And others of you are going to need specialized ministries. So there are ministries for addictions like Teen Challenge for drugs and alcohol. And if you have a problem with pornography addictions, there are specialized ministries for that. And I can give you a list of those ministries. Just email me. But don't stay stuck in bad, destructive, sinful habits or addictions. God is waiting to set you free. It's a process, but he wants to walk you through it. Now I want to hear from you. How has God set you free from habits? And how did it happen? And just leave your testimony in the box below, because it's going to encourage someone else who's beginning that healing journey. And if this is your first visit here, you need to get my free self-assessment guide. And to do that, just subscribe to my weekly email newsletter by filling out the subscription form on this page. And I'll talk to you again next week. But this week, ask Jesus, why do I behave that way? And allow him to walk you to freedom. He can't wait to help you.